and welcome to Lockdown Lunch and Learn with Liz. It's been a little while now since I've done one of these videos. As while we've been in lockdown, I've been doing other things, working with clients, coaching to support people with their mental health and well-being and resilience, and also just doing webinars as well. We're still in this situation. We're into our fourth week, I think now, and it's getting harder from what I'm hearing to just keep people focused, keep them positive and keep them engaged if they are indeed still working in your team, if they've not been furloughed. So today I wanted to share some tips that can help us with team meetings. How do we keep people engaged in our team meetings so that they leave that meeting feeling more positive and feeling better than they did before coming into that meeting? So I've got 6 tips that I'm going to share with you today, practical tips that you can go away and use straight away in your next team meeting. Now, to make it a little bit easier to try and remember, these tips all start with P. All right. So, number 1, the first one is purpose. Think about what is the purpose of your team meeting. Is that something that you think about beforehand? So, for example, the purpose could be that it's actually just a well-being, a bit of a catch-up for us all as a team. If we're doing meetings on a daily basis, one of those, the purpose might be that today this is just a catch up for us to just, share what we've been up to and have a general chit chat and a bit of banter. So that could be one purpose. Another purpose might be that actually this is more about informing. Here's some of the changes that could be coming up, things that we need to communicate to you as a team. So that could be another reason for the team meeting. So a good way to engage people in your meeting is to make it really clear what the purpose of that meeting is going to be, which might sound a bit strange, it might sound a bit of an odd thing to do, but if we do that, it just helps people to come into the meeting knowing why they're there and also how long it's going to last for, that type of thing. Which leads me on to the second P, which is plan. And plan your agenda for the meeting. We would do this if we were in the office, wouldn't we? We would create an agenda, send an agenda around to everybody. Are we doing that while we're working remotely? Are we sending people a planned agenda for our team meetings, or are we just, saying, right, we've got a meeting, everyone come on, and it's a free-for-all? That can be quite frustrating for people if they're sat there and they're thinking, I don't know what I'm supposed to contribute, I don't know what I'm bringing to this meeting. So a good thing to do if you're leading a team meeting is to have a plan beforehand and send an agenda around to everyone. These are some of the points that we're going to be discussing on this meeting today. So please think about, how you can contribute. So thinking about contributions as well, that's the other thing is about the next P is personal responsibility. How many people on your team meeting are actually contributing during that meeting? Is it the same people who speak up a lot of the time? Are there some people who are kind of hiding there in the background, don't really want to say anything? Now, that's all very well, and some people feel a little bit uncomfortable doing that. But as a leader, if we want to engage that person, then what we could do is actually just share the roles of the meeting. So maybe one person's going to contribute by writing the minutes for that meeting. Maybe somebody else is going to bring a fun fact of the day. That could be their job. But it's actually just for everybody to have a little bit of a responsibility for them to bring to that meeting so that they are engaged throughout the whole meeting as well. That's what we want, is to keep people there, which leads me on to the next P, which is presence and being fully present in that meeting. When you're in the office and there's a meeting sometimes and people are just sat there waiting for their turn, So what are they doing in the meantime? They're on their phone or they're typing away on their laptop. Do we have people doing that while we're on a remote team meeting? Because the chances are, if they are, they're not fully engaged with what we're talking about. And, you know, it's not a good message to send to other people as well within that team. So it can affect team morale, it can affect that kind of relationships and team building. So what we want to do is encourage, as a leader of your team meeting, encourage people to be fully present during that time, whether it's half an hour or 45 minutes or an hour, is just to put phones away, you know, try and be as present as they can. Now, we appreciate if they've got children wanting them or pets, as I do, pestering me. That's just life, that happens. But where we can, let's try and be fully present just during that time, because when we encourage that, it just helps people to really focus and helps them to feel a part of what's going on. And also for us as leaders as well, make sure that we're fully present. And part of that is bringing our energy to the meeting as well. Some of the Zoom meetings that I've been on, I can see that one thing that's missing often is energy. And energy creates some motivation for people. It creates that engagement, you know, some energy and some enthusiasm. So as a leader of your team meetings, if you're a manager, think about your energy. What can you do prior to that meeting to make sure that you're coming into that meeting with some energy? So that's about taking a break before the meeting, making sure that you're not just finish one meeting and you're coming straight into the next. Take a break, really have a think about what you want to get out of that team meeting and how you can help other people as well to get the most out of it by bringing your energy. Because there will be people, of course, in our meetings at the moment that aren't feeling that positivity and not feeling that energy. So that's the next P, is positivity. So a really good thing to do right now in our meetings, and I've heard different people talk about this as well, is sharing good news. So asking everyone who comes to the meeting to share something good that they've done this week or that they've seen this week as well, and ask them to share that within the meeting, and it just spreads that positivity. And if we do that at the start of a meeting, it's a really good way to kick things off in the right frame of mind, and it just helps people to feel that they've got that support around them. So that's a good way to start the meeting, positivity, and try and keep the positivity going. And then in terms of finishing the meeting, think about the final P, which is progress. So one of the final questions to ask in the meeting would be, so what's gone well this week? Where do we think we've achieved something? What's changed? What's gone well, basically? And ask people to share that. What this does is it helps us to get people to focus on where they are achieving, because right now a lot of people might think, actually, I'm not achieving very much. There's lots of things that I can do, but there's lots of new things that they are doing. And just the fact that they are working from home, working remotely, and still working is a massive achievement. So let's help people to focus on what's going well, because this helps their mindset. And if people have got a good positive mindset, then it helps with their engagement, it helps with their motivation, and it just helps them with the productivity, which in turn again helps them to feel good. So that's my 6 tips for today for your team meetings. If you'd like to know more, or if you want help training your managers in how to facilitate team meetings, or if you want help yourself, please get in touch. And my details are here. You can see it's Liz Pollard, Enabling Bold Moves, and just helping you to engage your people through lockdown. Have a great Wednesday. Bye.